Alright, we're back in Robocraft. In my last video, I mentioned that I wanted to make a tier 10 Nano, something I hadn't messed with. I think the highest tier Nano I've ever done is tier 5 or 6. Um, and I noticed that they're a lot more valuable in the new playstyle. So I made one, and another thing I did was I focused more on electroplate than I normally do. Um, and the results are predictable. This has 400 cubes actually in a tiny little space, and it's reasonably well covered with electroplates, and it is incredibly fragile. I'm not going to take the time to figure out exactly why. The guns are covered up well, but anytime you shoot one, the damage goes so many blocks in, and that stuff makes my head spin. But I think even for a little healer, I think it's unusually fragile. So anyway, it looks cool. It was a lot of fun trying to stuff all that stuff inside the compact frame. This little hull extension down here actually wasn't there. It was flat, and it was a lot lighter to begin with. For movement items, it's got two pairs of hovers in the front where most of the weight is, and then just one pair tucked way in there. And the fun thing about those is even when the front gets blown off, you've still got two hovers so that you can still kind of float around the battlefield. It sucks. The hovers are so slow now. I mean, even when you're at like over 10 overclock, it really is slow feeling. But it's just maneuverable enough. As a hover, you need to be able to get in and out of cover, and that's helpful as a plasma, and it's also helpful as a healer. I'm always trying to stay behind or under something where nobody can get me, and constantly moving, because it just can't survive very much. And of course, if there isn't another healer around, then there's nobody to heal you. I'm not great at playing a Nano. It's pretty far down the list in my skills. I try to play every class, every play style. One of the best things about it is it kind of teaches you what other people's strategies might be. Like if you've never played as a rail, for instance, you should really do that, even though you might hate it, just to have an idea for what it's like for other people. So then you might have an advantage over them. Like for instance, how long it takes to reload. That depends on how many guns you have on your ship. So if you have 6 guns, it's the max, and it's I don't know. You'd count it 30, 45 seconds or something. It's less than a minute. So for that whole window of time, you can get right up in their grill. In general, I just wouldn't be scared of rails anyway. They're kind of, when you get up close against them, they tend to freak out and not be able to aim. Trust me, I play as one a lot, and that's what I do. So this thing works okay. I'm not going to do a match with it or anything. I guess the lessons to learn from this are, well, you can make anything a stable hover as long as you spend just 10 minutes of time balancing it. Oh, by the way, it's got 4 tier 8 thrusters kind of built into the inside of it. And that my usual strategy of not using any electroplate at all is probably the best way to spend your CPU. So we've got 4, 6, there's 7 electroplates on this, and they're about 50 flops each. So that's 350 plus flops on just electroplate. I guess that's not so bad. But when you get into tier 10, you're probably not even going to have 1,000, depending on how long you spend getting there. I got there pretty quickly. I kind of power leveled my way up there, and I think I was level 50 when I hit tier 10. So I've just hit level 90 a few minutes ago when I was playing the game. So it took at least twice as much time to get from level 50 to level 90. I mean, yeah, way more. I mean, who knows? I spend most of my time building, not actually fighting, but yeah. If you want to call it a grind, it's slower at the top. But that's good because it gives you something to shoot for. I've still got a few things to buy. The TX1 Tetras, pretty much anything TX1. I've still got to do. I'm not going to build a Megabot though. I mean, I don't know. I can't imagine where I'd get all the blocks. So what, I've got about 400 blocks in this thing. I'm going to leave these here because I want to have a healer to play as. But there is another craft I'm going to delete. We'll do that in the next video. Okay, we'll see ya.